Okay. Let's see. So yeah, my third one, I don't know. I go back and forth. I was thinking of going with the Redskins. I took the Bucks, so I'll stick with them in our draft. They are a looks like a pick 'em right now. Falcons coming in here. Yeah, I just don't think again, and this didn't work last week, kind of fading the Falcons, but I just think these teams are still pretty much evenly matched at this point. Falcons going on the road. Matt Ryan and that offense not quite as efficient in non-dome settings. So they'll be outside out in the outdoors. Granted, pretty probably good weather, but just not as effective. At this point, they're just really jamming the ball into Julio. Eventually, this is going to get predictable, and the Bucks have been playing better on the outside at corner. And we've seen that with Dean and Carlton Davis offering a step up from what it was earlier in the year when Hargraves was mixing in and all that. So like the Bucks in a game that I think it's more two teams pretty evenly matched. I know the Bucks are without some weapons, but I think these two teams are, for the most part, at this point in the year, that the Falcons missing Ridley and whatnot, evenly matched teams. Falcons on the road, so give me the Bucks here. Jameis Winston giveth, Jameis Winston taketh away. But I mean, he's still going out there and throwing for 330 with all these backups. So it's kind of in a similar situation to the Falcons where they might get their yards by throwing 20 times to Julio Jones. Jameis Winston will spread it around to Brashad and Watson and Howard and all these guys. But the result is the same. Matt Ryan hasn't been the most careful with the ball for most of the season either. And again, I think the Bucs defense is a little better than people think. Houston had some struggles last week, and a lot of people didn't expect them to have struggles against this defense. So top run defense, and then that's going to be key because Freeman for the Falcons, Devontae Freeman has been really stepping up of late in the pass game. But the Bucs are also number 2 in DVOA on defending running back passes, which if you limit Freeman a little bit in the run game and the pass game, you make the offense really one-dimensional with Julio. Christian Blake, their other receiver, he has run, I believe it's 74 routes over the last 3 games and been targeted once. So you're going to kind of force the Falcons to do some things either they don't want to do, or you're going to make them pretty one-dimensional on the road, team that's underperformed all year. Dan Quinn, probably his last game. Give me the Bucs here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I disagree. I still got to dig into this game. I actually do think it's worth an underlook because what you said is right, and I've liked Bucs overs this year. But in the last couple of weeks, without Godwin and without Evans, their offense obviously isn't the same. They're still going to chuck it around, but they're playing, a little slower. And the thing is that their defense is trending in the right direction. The Falcons' defense is trending in the right direction. And the Falcons don't have Ridley, and they obviously lost Sanu earlier this year. So I think both defenses, and you're right, Ryan last week had, I think, 1 or 2 picks because he was forcing it in a double coverage against, just trying to get the ball to Julio Jones. But then I look at it, and the Falcons defense, it has to be said. And I didn't think I was like, maybe there's something to this early in the year, but apparently there is, because once Quinn gave up play calling duties as defensive coordinator, so they played 8 games before the bye, and they allowed 250 points before the bye in those 8 games. That's about 32 points per game. And the 7 games since, they've allowed 127. It's about 18. They've been a top 5 scoring defense, top 5 third down defense. And look, they played the Saints twice. They played the 49ers. They played this Bucs offense when healthy. The Bucs are the only team that's blown them out. The Falcons started 1-7. They're 5-2 since the bye. So they have a little bit of revenge from that Bucs game who put up 35. In that game, Godwin went bonkers. So obviously you don't have him now. But it took them some time, I think, to figure out some things. Keanu Neal was so important to that defense. They were testing out some things, figuring out how to replace him. Their front is really good. They're good against the run. And at the end of the day, I still got to dig into this, like I said. But then I keep coming back to, okay, do I trust, the weapons of both good, both the defenses are trending up. Their strength is in the front 7. So let's call it a wash. And then do I say, do I trust Julio, Hooper, and Freeman, and then I look at the Bucs and I say, oh man, I don't know. So that's like, and I know James is going to spray it around, but just having those 3 pretty reliable options. And what you said about the Bucs matching up with Freeman is right, and their front seven is solid. But that is my concern at the end of the day. But I don't hate it.
Yeah, that's like, again, it's one of them that I went back and forth on it. I think for me, it's kind of, number one, you mentioned it. The Bucs were the one team that kind of had some success against this new look Falcons team. They're still really banged up on and like decimated on defense. The Falcons are. I think some of it is the opponent. I mean, the Saints, you got to give them credit for that. That they played the Saints strong. So it's a tough one to read, but I just feel like this should be Bucs -3, maybe Bucs -2. Getting a pick. So give me the Bucs. And again, when in doubt, fade Dan Quinn. That's one of my.
Fair enough.